Hi, this is Neil Haley, and welcome to the Neil Haley Show. Go to my website, toldtutor.net, for more information. Twitter, Told Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Told Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, and Google Plus, Neil Haley. And tremendous guests for my marathon of TV/radio interviews today. And the summer is almost beginning, but it will be over by the time all these shows air. And I'm excited to welcome to the program Dr. Teresa Nicasio. Dr. Teresa, thanks for calling, and you're going to talk to us about Yum. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Neil.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And it's interesting when you're talking about being healthy, the importance of healthy foods. When in your life did you figure that out for yourself? How old were you when you came up with that, figuring out that, hey, it's good to eat healthy for sure?
Yeah, well, eating healthy is in itself, that's something I think I was raised in a home, we gardened, we did a lot of things, but it's actually kind of taking it's a step in another direction, or a step further around healthy, because what I learned by my own experience of thinking I was eating healthy food, eating whole grains, having my protein sources, maybe having cheese or whatever I was having, that what may be healthy for one person may not be healthy for the next person. So what I learned about was more about what bioindividuality is, and the importance of knowing about your own unique bioindividuality in order to eat healthy for your specific body.
So knowing that is interesting, Dr. Teresa. I mean, how do you figure that out for yourself, to know what your bioindividuality is?
Right. Well, that's a great question. Well, I just stumbled onto it. It took about 12 years for me to stumble onto it, though, after being really unhealthy, and I didn't know what was wrong. The doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong. The dots just didn't seem to line up. So I just had all these symptoms of I couldn't breathe, respiratory problems, immune problems. I started having a lot of arthritic symptoms and even neurological symptoms. And so it was in my desperation of trying to figure out what to do, I learned about the idea of an elimination diet. And again, I was just trying to figure out what to do that was healthy. I was trying lots of random things. And with the elimination diet, which is considered the gold standard for figuring out food sensitivities and food allergies, you take out some of the most common suspects, whether it's milk products, gluten, corn, soy, that sort of thing, and you remove those for about a month.
Oh, wow.
And you see how your body responds. If your body starts to do better, then it's pretty simple science. There's a pretty simple scientific cue that something that I was eating wasn't working with the body. And then the tricky part and the most important part, which I failed the first 2 times I tried, I got sloppy, is the reintroduction process.
Yes.
And with the reintroduction, you reintroduce just one of those foods, and then you monitor headaches, bloating, gas, burping, skin conditions for about the next 2-3 days, and you see if anything seems to change. If it doesn't, then likely that's not a problem food for you. But then you still remove it again, you keep it out, and then you add another food, and then you go through that cycle. And with some foods that were, questionable, because sometimes these symptoms may not show for even within 2-3 days, then, some you might repeat and just see, and I've done it where I've, waited for a longer period of time and see, what happens if I have this one reintroduced. And it's amazing what happens.
It definitely seems amazing, and going through this, and I'm sure that you have a list of those types of foods that you should eliminate first when you talk about gluten. That's one that you hear about all the time, because of children that have autism, they remove gluten-free, casein-free type diets. So eliminating gluten, that's a hard strategy once you're talking about eliminating all those foods for 1 month. So you definitely need to read your book to figure this out for sure, and talk to experts, because eliminating all those things, your body's going to be in shock at first, isn't it? In a little bit. Would you agree?
Yeah, some people do have a bit of detoxification symptoms, because if their body is used to fighting a bunch of things and then you do anything different, then it can't, sometimes people will have symptoms. Those don't usually last for very long for most people, but what most people find is that except for the emotional effects of not being able to grab for the familiar food, that they start to feel better within a week. Most people start to notice a change. However, if it is gluten, and specifically if it's gluten and the person happens to have an autoimmune response, so there's a lot of people who are gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant who don't have the autoimmune issue that people with celiac disease have.
Okay.
Those with celiac disease have to actually have it out of their system for at least 3 or 4 weeks for the immune system to kind of turn off its reaction. So that's why the long period of time. But again, most people within a week find that they just start to feel better and lighter, and they can't really a little more energy, because again, if you're not working against yourself in your body, then you're doing really well. I should say that while it's psychologically challenging to do make some of these changes, Neil, in practice, if you have the right tools, and that's what Yum's about, is the tools. I actually don't even walk people through the elimination diet. This is once people figure out what they can and can't eat, or want to eat and to make their bodies feel well. It's full of options that are sensitive to a whole range of things. So they would want to probably do what I did. I used actually Dr. Natasha Turner's book, which is one, it's not the only one, called The Hormone Diet. And she walked through it, or the Supercharged Hormone Diet. She's got a few books, actually. And she just walks you through, and she just has people like 2 or 3 weeks. It's very simple, and she also leaves in a lot of foods. There's so many foods you still can eat, but it's a matter of shifting habits and mindset. Yeah.
So I guess that when you talk about all these different things, eliminate gluten, eliminate dairy, eliminate certain things, it seems very overwhelming thinking about that. To think about, I'm going to eliminate all those things to my diet and do this, but then the health, how it'll help make you feel healthier once you figure out what is the root cause of this problem. And then sometimes you talk about it might not be gluten, it might not be certain things, and it might not be a digestive issue either. Am I correct? It could be other things as well that you'll see your body feeling healthier because that food is eliminated from your diet.
Yeah, I think I've read something like there's like 200 different symptoms other than gut related that gluten can cause.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What are some others? For sure.
Well, the biggest one that was the most obvious for me that made me really pay attention is migraine headaches and other neurological problems. My entire life, ever since I was a child, I've had migraine headaches. I used to hit my head with objects really hard because my head would hurt so much. My mom would say, "Don't do that." I'm like, "But my head hurts so much." But that became part of life, and I became used to it. It just was, and certain times of the month it would be worse because sometimes hormone shifting can also aggravate it. And that was what sold me. Was within less than a month, my migraines entirely stopped when I got off of gluten.
That's great.
And they have been off, yeah.
Because those migraines keep it difficult to work long hours or even work with lots of focus when you have migraine headaches, for sure.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's hard to even be in any place other than a dark room, laying in a bed wanting to throw up. So let alone be able to work long hours. It can be migraines can be extremely debilitating.
And doctors couldn't figure this out. You had to figure this out through yourself through dieting. Interesting.
Yeah, well, it was before it became more well known. I basically figured this out around 2010, which happened. It turns out coincidentally it'd be the same year that Dr. William Davis came out with his book called Wheat Belly. And since his book came out, the awareness about the much broader implications for gluten has become more well known, and as well as Dr. Perlmutter, he's done some great work around that.
Yeah, I've interviewed Dr. Perlmutter. I interviewed him before. Yes, absolutely. It's interesting to hear about the things with carbs and how that can cause certain types of depression at times and different. So it's all interesting. So even people that are having other types of health problems should try this to see if this is going to change the way they do things, for sure. The diet is important to a happier, healthy life, isn't it?
It's huge, and as a psychologist, because that's my day job, that I never planned on being becoming a gourmet raw food chef and nutrition educator. That was never on my radar. What I have seen in terms of the implications, it's great you mentioned about the depression and anxiety sorts of things, is what I've seen with my clients who come in, maybe dealing with depression or anxiety or other things. Sometimes people genuinely need to be on medications, but there's other times where maybe they don't need to. And until they can rule out whether diet is part of it, I think that's like the most, it's brainless. It's such a simple fix if you can do it and not have to toxify your body with medications that may not be necessary.
Okay, so Dr. Teresa, where is the best place we can find information on you, purchase your book, and learn more about you? Where can we go?
You can go to yumfoodforliving.com. So that's YUM, food for living, spelled out FOR living.com.
All right. Well,
and there's lots of good stuff there. And the book is going to be available for pre-sale, hopefully by the end of this month. This month is June. Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
It will be actually physically coming out in September, but it will be available for pre-sale.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for calling, and best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, Neil, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're watching The Neil Haley Show. When we get back, another great guest. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm John Walsh, owner of Bethel Bakery, and we are celebrating our 60th birthday this year. We have plenty of events scheduled for this summer and certainly hope that you can join us for our sweet 60th. Each day, now through August 31st, one lucky customer will win a $60 Bethel Bakery gift card just by registering in the store when a purchase is made. Also daily, our Facebook fans can like and share the photo we post on our wall for a chance to win a $6 Bethel Bakery gift card. We also have a community cookie fundraiser with the proceeds supporting 3 organizations in the community: the Joey Fabus Foundation, the Bethel Park Community Foundation, and the Bethel Park Public Library. Each week we are featuring a throwback and new baked good, and if you were born in 1955, make sure to stop in for a free cupcake. Updates are posted on our website, bethelbakery.com. Bethel Bakery, baking life sweeter since 1955, takes great pleasure in serving all our customers. Stop and visit us as we celebrate 60 years of sweet memories.
We're back to the Neil Haley Show again. Go to my website, toldtutor.net for more information. Twitter, Told Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Told Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, Google+, Neil Haley, and hashtag Neil Haley Show to be part of the live tweet. I can't wait to see, as Dee Dee Rittman is tweeting all day, what's been happening as we're on the final stretch, but I saved the best for last, so I'm excited. Again, National Publicity Summit, Dee Dee Rittman met him, but he's a Pittsburgher. And that's the most important thing in the world. If you're a Pittsburgher, we can relate. The Pittsburgh working, Western Pennsylvania mentality, hardworking. But guess what? He kept it simple. And he's a pioneer. So I'm excited to welcome to the program author of Just Two Choices. It's Your Life, Rico Rakoski. Rico, thanks for calling, and you're a choice pioneer. I could go into all these different things, and you made it so simple for me after we talked. Rico, how are you?
Well, Neil, I appreciate the opportunity very much, and how yin's doing in that back in the Berg?
That's absolutely, and we're doing great in the Berg. We have a warmer day for sure, different things, and all these different things. But now I did show the book cover, and of just two choices. And
Right.
you see, and the back of the cover, and you want people, even if they read this back cover, life could become easier for them right by just looking at this book, looking at the back cover, and whether you are just two choices you make most, that is your life. Just two choices. Explain that to us.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting about it is I have to thank kids. In my time off between flying, my background is in aviation and in art, and in my days off between flying, I was working a lot with elementary school kids on some stuff that I just created on my own on positive choice. And I kept saying to the elementary school kids, look, there are just two choices. Every choice you make is either going to take you close to what you want or further away from what you want. And I was talking about, of course, choices of action. And finally, because I had written a book a while back called Dreams Plus Action Equals Reality for helping the kids, I was talking about those choices of action. And I said to myself, as I mentioned it to the kids, I go, just two choices. I said, wow, that kind of explains life for adults, in a much easier way. So because it boils down to in every moment, you have just two choices. Either, do the positive, even something incrementally more positive, or you're going to do something less than that. And every moment you have that opportunity to make a choice because, as you know, we can't jump into the future and we can't go back into the past. All we have is right here, right now. And so just two choices kind of says, hey, take most advantage of what you have right here, right now.
And that's so true, Rico. And kind of give us an example of how in today you use just two choices. Give us an example.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this morning, actually, it was kind of funny. I've been losing some weight. I've lost about 15 pounds using just two choices. And one of the ways I kind of got into that, because I'm not a guru or study all the, ins and outs of different foods and stuff. It's just, eat less, exercise more kind of guy. And so I said to myself, I need to drink more. It's important for me to drink more water. And this morning I was reaching for, soda first. And I said, no, just two choices here. You can drink 8 ounces of water before you go and drink a soda or go drink any other beverage. And sure enough, I made the choice to drink 2 glasses of water. But, that's how I use it. Every bit, it's every bit part of being in the moment right here, right now. And that was a good start for my morning. Got it started with water.
The right here and right now, Rico's key. And when people pick up the book, you kind of explain how certain people just use just two choices to change and transform their life. Isn't that correct?
Yes. Yeah. The easiest way to think of it, Neil, is and it's inside the book, and it's just right away in chapter 1. I say by the time you read the first 3 pages of the book, you got the whole gist of everything. It's just there's a lot of his stories about Da Vinci and Einstein and the Wright brothers and lots of other people, Shakespeare in the book too. But it's about creating what I call a flippant thinking, where you have just two choices in every moment. And here's the flippant thinking this morning: I could drink a soda, something with a little bit of caffeine in it, or I could drink water first. And so I flip my thinking around to saying, I'm going to make myself. I'm going to go ahead and drink water first. I thought about how the water would go down easier and put some lemon in it. And so it's really the key to this is that in every moment you have these just two choices. And if you're going in a direction you don't want to go, whether it's weight loss or it's a bad relationship or you're not, your wealth isn't where it wants to be, your only other choice is to do this, what I call flippant thinking, and think of ways that are better, new and better choices that get you closer to what you want. So it's almost sometimes I've had some people say it sounds like it's too simple.
Well, I said it's too simple to you before, and it's great because no one else really thought of this. So when you're looking at the whole choice process, you make the better choice. Define that. Because the better choice is what your choice is, not what other people's choice is, right?
Well, yeah, that's an excellent point, Neil. And to add to that, in the past, people, and it's common language, so people use it all the time, like, well, how do I make the right choice? And I've had that question be asked quite a bit. But when you think about it, the right choice is really about being psychic. I mean, if I knew how to make the right choice, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Wall Street would be calling me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I mean by new and better choice. Well, I just made one of those this morning. I had a chance to make a new and a better choice, which was the choice to drink water because I want to lose weight and I want to decrease my caffeine, intake. And so the new and better choice is to drink a glass of water or a couple glasses of water. But when you string all those together, Neil, life is what I call a seamless sequence of choices. It's right now, it's right now, it's right now. This whole interview, these past 4 minutes or so, has been because of right now, right now, right now. But we have it on tape, and your life goes the same way. The only place you can activate your life is right now. And so that's why I talk about it's about making a new and better choice right now, because what is your life? Your life is your choices create your habits, and then your habits create your life. And I have a habit of drinking, let's say, more soda than water, and now I want to change that habit. So I have to make a different choice. There's no other way around it.
So one thing, the colors in the front cover and the back of the cover, there's a reason you made it like this, right? Tell me why.
Yeah, I think you broke the code on that, didn't you? Well, it's, you know, if you notice a rainbow, if you make a rainbow, a vertical bar, for example, with red being at the bottom, and red's not bad. It's just scientifically it's a lower frequency, and so there's a lower, what I call lower vibe, which is, you know, there are some personalities that have lower vibes, and so the top of the cover goes from kind of a red to to blue and a violet up at the top of the color because I want the top of the cover because I want that high vibe feeling to be at the
high vibe at the top.
Yeah, high vibe at the top of this cover. So nice catch.
And then the bottom red. And what you're saying is it's not a higher frequency. So what your frequency is, Rico, at the top is what you want to live. And looking at the back cover, you see that. You see red, and then all the way up, it's almost purple. And why purple?
Yeah.
Tell us why purple.
Well, scientifically, you know, I have a background in STEM education, you know, and in science and technology kind of stuff, although, you know, it wasn't my major or anything like that, but I've always loved science and technology, and I thought it would be an easy way to explain to people high vibes and low vibes just by using a color reference, you know, as a color scale. And so purple is a frequency, is a very, very high frequency color, and red is a very, very low frequency color. So we all been to parties, for example, where we've gone to them, and, you know, the high vibe people, if you notice, after about an hour and a half, all the high vibe people who love life are over at one end of the room, and all the people who are low vibe, complaining, whining about life, are at the other end of the room. And it's not bad or good. It's just that, you know, they're two different frequencies, just like purple and red. They're just two different frequencies that people are operating on, and it's a choice, as I perceive it.
And when you are, as an airplane pilot, meeting people and greeting people, you want to give them the opportunity to be high vibe people, right? Provide them that. What you say to them really will help that frequency, right? For them to change that way, so they're going different color scheme, that they might be red when they first meet you, but you're hoping you get them up that plane or the high to the top by saying nice things, complimenting people, praising people, right? Yeah. Not being angry. Those things work, right? To change people's mood and ideas, right?
Oh, absolutely right. They work in everyday life. You know, you think about it when you go to when you check out of a grocery store, or you go to any store and you're going to buy something, and if you hit if you come up with a high vibe greeting to the checkout person, or if you have a question about something, where something's located in a particular store, and you come up with a high vibe, do you ever notice that they usually come back with a high vibe too?
Yeah.
You know, if you come up and go, man, I don't know where this is. You know, the layout of your store is terrible. Well, you're not offering much of a high vibe to come back at, you know. But when you come up to them and say, hey, man, can you help me out? You know, me and my rowdy friends are looking for something over here. And they go, oh, yeah, way over there. There it is, aisle 4. And very cooperative. Let me walk you over there. Let me show you the exact shelf that it's on. You know, but you're exactly right. You nailed it. Exactly right.
If you're enthusiastic, you give them a smile. If I would be in the interview, hi, Rico, I just really am happy to have you on the show. What is your book about? That is going to end the high vibe and make it very low vibe. And what you do in your life, there's just two choices. Hang up.
well, and there's also the other choice, and I'm glad you brought that up, Neil, because you do a great job with keeping the vibe high on the interviews, is that even if it were a low vibe question, it's still my choice as to whether or not I'm going to choose to keep it at a high vibe.
And you can.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. So when I've listened to other interviews you've done and stuff, they will try to create a low vibe question. How do you make it a high vibe answer?
Yeah, it's just two choices. So I'm sorry, it's kind of a wise guy answer. You know, I'll just go into the high vibe. You know, I'm going to where it's not. You know, if they want to go to something that's low vibe, then I'll go to the opposite of what that is. But say kind of the same thing, but say it in a positive way.
Well, Rico, I can't believe how quickly time runs. 13 minutes is not enough time with you,
wow,
for sure. But I want to show the coin for our listeners. When you meet Rico, he would pass out this coin. And one
Yeah.
side is green with the smiley face, as didn't put it right in the
Yeah.
camera, they're there. And then the other way is this way with the frowny. So just two choices. You either can be make this a choice that will make you
Yeah.
happy, or it will make you sad and whatever. So that's
It's your choice. Yep.
It's
It's
your
your choice
choice.
to own that choice. Yeah.
So best place to find information on you, Rico. Where can we go?
www.just2choices.com and download the book, the first front matter and the first chapter of the book for free. It's just enter your name and email address and take a look at it and change your life with just the first chapter.
And that's what your goal is, to make people happy and love life based on just two choices. And making
Yep,
go ahead. And
I
making
was
that
just saying,
go ahead.
just to empower them that they realize that is their choice. So please go ahead and add on to that.
All right, Rico. Well, good talking to you. Best luck, man. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thank you so much, Neil, and see you later. Take care.
All right, see you later. All right, so that
Yeah.
was the Neil Haley Show. Again, go to my website, toldtutor.net, for more information. Twitter, Told Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Told Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, and Google+, Neil Haley. And when I see you back in the studio again, even though every week there'll be a different television show, when I do my next TV/radio taping, I hopefully will be tan. I hopefully I'll be relaxed for the summer, so have a great summer. Every week, you'll get to watch the show, TV show, or listen to the show every day at ToldTutor.net. Remember, hashtag Neil Haley to be part of the conversation. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk next week. Good day, everyone.